that was really, really detrimental to the play style. It must have been detrimental to the play style because Synergy just was just not as good without Arden. So now they decided immediately to go with Arden. And interesting how Synergy actually banned Cruel both times, and then they decided to play Cruel.
Yes, I was gonna say that's very surprising. We're gonna see. It's gonna be very interesting to see Cruel and Ringo, especially early game, because they can both be early game aggressors at this point. We're gonna have the two Celeste up in lane dueling it out. Of course, Arden's gonna be looking out for his daughter on either team right now, so we're gonna see who could be the better daddy as far as these Ardens go.
All right, so you have the early farm moving along. Rotations are about in sync. You see Beowulf just getting a second ahead of Skoja. You do see that a lot of high elo players is they try to rush the jungle and the shop as quickly. If you can prevent the enemy team from shopping, you could possibly get their shop minions, but more importantly, you prevent them from buying items that are really important for them to be able to compensate. And you see Bubblegum realizing he's going to probably get caught out here. Both Check and Bubblegum going with Celeste. Beowulf with Arden, Rix with Ringo. They need to prevent Bubblegum from going for their backs. You see Bubblegum immediately rushing two Vertigo's backs, but there's none there yet. But Beowulf and Rix are completely on chase. They definitely want to prevent Bubblegum from stealing, potentially.
This is aggressive, but still smart play coming out of both teams. It looks like Bubblegum's probably going to go down here.
He goes down, and I don't know if he picked up the minions. He might have gotten one. He definitely didn't get the second one. Not sure if it's worth just for one, but I couldn't tell if Rix actually picked up both. You see Bubblegum actually using his stun on the minions just to try to pick up the kill, and he did not get both of them. So I think
it was a gutsy move, and I'm not sure either exactly how that played out, but I think it was worth the risk still going for the back.
And you see Beowulf does catch both team. Cruel. Oh, Cruel going in, getting a lot of damage. He's always at level 3, so he does have it. Rix is going to walk right over a scout trap, does take the damage, and he is going to have to completely get away from that because he is not able to fight up against Cruel at this point. Bubblegum going in the jungle, just clearing out some of the vision Beowulf had set. Beowulf now is just going to try to leave. So Cruel, they got to be very careful because Cruel, as you get closer to late game, will be very, very deadly.
These teams are everywhere, Dragon. They're jumping into each other's jungles. Everybody's just scrounging for as much farm as they can. They want to get those builds into a good spot where they can feel confident going toe-to-toe.
Yeah, and you actually see that because Rix is able to take their backs, Synergy decided to go all the way to Vertigo's backs and take their backs. And that was a really smart play by Synergy, realizing that they're just not going to be able to get back there in time. It looks like, though, that Beowulf may have picked up... No, he did not pick... No, he did not pick up the kill. He tried to steal the creep score, was not successful.
Yeah, that's smart early play. Instead of picking the fight, just getting out of the way, seeing if you can grab some farms somewhere, anywhere, to get yourself a little bit extra gold.
Yeah, so pretty even right now. 17 to 19 creep score between starting all over and Rix. Really, really, really close. You do see, though, he's picking up a few more. You see a lot of pressure coming in the lane, just trying to push down this first turret. They've done a really good job. You see, wow, Vertigo already going for the turret. And so this is forcing starting all over to try to get in there. The stun is missed. The afterbird coming, Oh, Rick's almost going down. One more auto attack's probably going to do it. And when he realizes he's safe, he actually starts poking at starting all over. So almost going down there, but does not go down. Really impressive play and stutter stepping out of Rick's.
Yeah, that smite almost took him down. Looks they're going right back into Synergy's jungle.
Yeah, and you see Vertigo and Beowulf doing the exact same thing. Going right at Synergy's jungle, realizing they're probably going to lose their jungle. So this is, you don't see this a lot in low tier play, but you do see this a lot in higher tier play, is you do see the players can't afford to risk the jungle, and because they know the positioning, oh, you see the steal coming out of Skojan, almost gets it, but is not successful.
Very gutsy by Rix there. I mean, even Arden could have brought him down. He did not have much life at all. They're going for the gold mine at this point because everybody ported back after their farm. I think they're going to take it pretty easily here. Yeah, there's really nothing that Vertigo can do to contest it. Best Chuck and A still in the lane. He's just trying to push it. So this is a complete win and very impressive decision out of Synergy, realizing that they had the advantage to go in there and take that gold mine. That gives them the jungle dominance that they didn't have the last game. That's something where you get jungle dominance. It's really important for Cruel, too, to allow him to continue to farm up. Absolutely. Small payout, but you've got the vision, and you've got that point where if they want to try and take it back, you're still going to be having a much tougher fight for
And
Vertigo.
you see,
So
starting all over, going immediately in, getting the stun. Best Chuck and A is going to go down. There's nothing that Beowulf does put in the stock, but down goes. Oh, but Skoja goes down too. So Rick's going in with the stutter step. Really impressive play there, but Best Chuck and A does go down. He got caught out by the Cruel. Starting all over, doing the Bush Cruel, staying in the jungle, and getting that slow is really very little that Best Chuck could do.
well, good call by Best Chuck though. He saw that Arden, even though the tankiest hero was the lowest, it was best to focus him to at least get one kill out. It looks like they're going
Oh, and Rick's
to return.
yeah. What a stutter step skill. Thanks to Beowulf's Vanguard, he's able to get fast enough in the right position to get the kill he needs. And now all of Vertigo's up in the lane, and they're going to go real heavy pushing on the lane. And then you see starting all over. Oh, with the flare, actually gets caught by a Scott Trap, so he's not going to have the element of surprise. But he is going to go in there. Not, though, before Vertigo is going to get the turret.
They got the turret. Looks like they're going to drop Ricks out of this, but
yeah,
there's a
you see,
huge
starting
play
all
for-
over is able to do very effective damaging. He's playing a really good Cruel, but he's just not able to prevent the turret loss, and that is really strong for Vertigo. That gives them a little bit more ability to press the lane and then also pressure and try to regain that jungle dominance that they lost.
Well, Krill's got a great starting all over. That is, he's got a great build going on right now because he's already finished his Shiver Steel. That's that stickiness he needs early game, and he's just going to factor that in further with more damage going forward into his final build.
Yeah, absolutely. Bubblegum now having to be a little bit more careful. He doesn't have the turret on his side to protect him. You see Rix and Beowulf and Best Chuck coming down the jungle, just passing over. There's a scout trap right there that nobody's... There it finally pops before Beowulf actually put his scout trap there to gain vision. But good pressure by Synergy to continually pressure the vision and the jungle, because if they're going to lose the lane, they can definitely make it up by playing aggressively in the jungle.
Well, it looks like Synergy's trying to get a little bit more dominance in the jungle at this point. They at least want just over that 50-yard line, hold the center.
Oh, and the stun coming out actually goes right into Beowulf, face plants them. You see a lot of damage going on starting all over, and starting all over goes down, miss stun out of Bubblegum. And so now Vertigo knows that they've got the advantage. They can be able to push. Instead of going for the jungle, they know they can have no jungle dominance. They're going to go right for the turret.
This is huge. They're looking to take their second turret before even 8 minutes.
Yeah, you see starting all over is going to be coming back. Skoja is still not level 6, though, so he can't trap them in. So Vertigo's able to get that turret and get out of there. And now starting all over, he is level 8. Is he going to try to post? You see the poke damage coming out of Beowulf. Oh, he goes right for Best Chuck at A. The stun, though, misses out of Bubblegum again. Oh, actually, sorry, that was a missed stun coming out of Best Chuck NA.
Looks like Skojan's going to go down. This is great. This is back and forth out of both teams. Nobody's backing away from a fight.
Yeah, Vertigo deciding they're going to go for Gold Mine. They do know they're going to run the risk of Bubblegum. Probably going to go take their backs. But with the jungle dominance out of Gold Mine, I don't think that's a trade they're too upset making.
No, they've got a 3,000 gold lead at this point. They're in a really good spot. They can forfeit a little bit of back jungle farm. That's not going to kill them.
Yeah. The biggest thing here, though, is that Synergy is playing extremely smart. They are losing the early game, so they have decided, you know what, let's just focus on making sure we get the positions we need and get the gold that we need. So they don't want to risk getting far behind in gold, and you can see they're not too far behind. They're only 3K behind in gold, and with a 2 to 5 kill with all the two of the turrets already down, that's not a horrible position. But Vertigo's got the lead here. They need to be a little bit more aggressive than they have in the past and take advantage of it.
Yeah, Synergy is they're being safe, but they're being smart, and but they're not missing any opportunities to take farm where they can, because you don't want that gold lead getting any bigger.
Yeah, so
3,000's just starting to get to that point where it could be difficult to handle.
So with Vertigo now, with a little bit of lead, you see both Ardens are at level 6. So this is going to be interesting to see. The next team fights, you're going to see gauntlets come out. And the timing and positioning of them is going to be very critical. And that could really balance and change the direction of this game.
Yeah, and Skojan opted for the Stormguard. He's going to have a little bit more pop to his punch going into a fight, but he's not as tanky as Beowulf, too. So it depends on who lands their gauntlet and what they want to do when they're in there.
Yeah, Absolutely, though. Arden with Stormguard is really strong, so the timing of the next team fight would be interesting. I do think, though, at 634 gold, Bale was probably going to be picking up a Stormguard fairly soon.
He just went to the shop, and he did get it. Look at you, very astute.
So great, great farming. A little bit, again, passive play out of Vertigo, something you do see a lot out of there. You know, they're timing their fights very carefully. They know that with the Cruel, they have to be extremely careful not to allow him to get his stuns off. He can slow and isolate a player down very quickly and take him out almost by himself. And that's what Vertigo's trying to prevent right now is, you know, they want to make sure that they can at least poke damage and bring down that Cruel low enough so that when he starts to get his barrier up, he's not extremely strong or, you know, surprising them. There's the, you know, Celeste being able to do such a good job with vision. Best Chuck has vision on the jungle bush right by the turret, preventing Synergy from surprise attacking them in the lane.
They're going with a very tentative push right here. They're keeping the pressure on, but they're not diving in. They're not getting crazy with it. I think they're looking for an opportunity, looking for somebody to get a little frisky. You know, maybe Cruel tries to close the distance and they can keep it and they can pull him out.
Yeah, and with Skojin just there, you got to be careful going in because he's going to be able to he does pull out the gauntlet. That's what he was waiting for. The stun comes out. Beowulf is going to go down, and Rix and Chuck are taking a ton of damage. So there's a chase coming on. Not a position you want to be in, Vertigo, to have to be chased, but they've got a lot of damage and a lot of farm. So they're able to go back to the safety of their gold mine. And Synergy's just not able to go for the ace yet. But they're still being very aggressive. Best Chuck NA has to move over. He's going to get isolated. He's getting caught. And he's going to be probably going to go down. He does go down. Not before Rix is trying to focus down. This is probably going to be an ace. Oh, it's not going to be an ace because Beowulf just came back up. But they are going to get the kill. And down goes Rix.
That was a bit too risky on behalf of Vertigo there. They hung around a little too long knowing that Synergy was chasing them down. They could have probably got back to the lane safe, and neither one of them would have gone down in that case.
Yeah, Beowulf actually putting a little bit of damage onto Skojin. He's just trying to clear the wave of the lane. He doesn't want those minions pushing too aggressively onto the turret. The one thing that Vertigo has is all their turrets, and they don't want to lose that advantage. You see Skojin going right in, but as soon as he sees Best Chuck NA's Heliogenesis, he backs up, realizing that it is not the fight he wants to pick right now.
I would have loved to see an Arden on Arden fight there, like a couple of tortoises. Taking forever, not really getting anywhere, but they would just keep plowing away, wouldn't they?
It is Arden actually does a lot of damage, but both Ardens with Vanguards would be able to deflect or prevent a lot of that. Best Chuck is going to clear the lane and then rotate down, and you see Vertigo saying, well, they're going to go for the gold mine. They know they've got the vision in the jungle that they need for protection. So they do get up that tiny gold payout right before, in the next couple minutes before Kraken comes up.
Yeah, Vertigo's getting a little bit of pressure on the jungle. They're pushing over the 50-yard line a little bit. Synergy's got a little bit of vision in the center there. Probably not enough, but they know they're there at this point.
Yeah, Vertigo doing a phenomenal job with vision. You see scout traps on their side of the jungle as well as there's Beowulf coming out with his ultimate because you don't see and then a double ultimate coming out from both Synergy, and that's actually a huge. Vertigo's actually taking a ton of damage. Good double gauntlet placement by Synergy. Beowulf's still alive. He's trying to stay around. He's actually just going to go down. He's being chased by Celesto, and Rix is just barely going to stay alive. Is he going to go down? He doesn't go down. Unbelievable. So starting all over is going in reflex block, and down goes Rix finally, but not before taking a lot of turret damage. But really good Vanguard out of Skojin.
Yeah, it was. That was perfectly timed. I mean, great job by Rix trying to get out of there. He almost had it. The double gauntlet Venn diagram was what spelled trouble for Best Chuck on that one. He got caught right in between, and the stun was long enough for him to get melted. The
biggest thing here, though, is Synergy continually still has not been able to put pressure onto the turret. The kills are just not in the right positioning, and they're not able. And the lane is pushed far enough for Vertigo that this is probably going to be the most damage they're going to get on the turret there. But with the barrier going back up right now, but the barrier is just not enough. The regen's not strong enough, and they are going to get the turret, but not before Rix and Best Chuck and they are chasing. They're chasing, trying to get a kill if they can. They're just not going to pick one up, and they're able. Synergy's able to get away. Really good play by Synergy.
If you sneeze on the turret right now, it will fall, but it's not down yet. But that actually the gold is tied at this point, and that's with Vertigo being 2 turrets up. So that's very interesting.
Yeah, that's really good play. They are going to go. They're going to try to keep pressuring the lane here. So they do pick up a minion mine. But the biggest thing there is a lot of gold that they can get off of that 200 plus the bonus from Beowulf. So they still got good vision and jungle dominance. But Synergy's been able to win the team fights.
Yes, they have. We're getting into late game builds at this point. Looks like Synergy might push the lane. They might try and take that turret because it wouldn't be very
It
difficult
would not
at
be
this point.
difficult. It's solo. I didn't even realize it was still around. I actually
that.
thought they had gotten the turret kill, and they actually had to back away. And you see Best Chuck at A. Oh, there's the barrier down. The turret does go down, but not before Best Chuck does pick up a huge amount of farm there. Good timing placement. There's nothing Vertigo could do there. They just prolonged the inevitable. And you do see with Best Chuck going back, they're starting to get ready, start infusing, because they realize that the next team fight is going to be probably the most critical team fight.
The infusions are coming out. We got a really tanky Cruel with starting all over. Only the breaking point and the weapon power infusion going into this. Otherwise, he's got the armor and the crystal defense.
And now without that turret there, starting all over can get a lot better position. You see him going in up to the top bush. He's going to rush in. No, he just changes his mind. He's debating, though, because he doesn't know where Vertigo is. So he just wasn't too sure if he wanted to go in there. But see, Best Chuck and A starting to put a lot of tank. Hellfire Brew coming out onto starting all over. But it is mostly blocked by Skojan's really well-timed Vanguard.
Missed ult out of Cruel there.
And this is actually really huge for Vertigo. They've got their gauntlet. You see the ultimate coming in. It does isolate, starting all over. He has to use his reflex block to get out of there. You see a missed stun. He goes right into Rix. But the stutter step and slow that comes out of Vertigo is really impressive. Oh, Beowulf does get stunned. And the ultimate out of Celeste from Synergy is so impressive. And it's just not going to be enough damage to get down. They're trying to poke down, starting all over. And they do. Oh, they don't get it. Oh, so close, but they do not get starting all over. He's going to stay alive, and now he's going to take a ton of damage coming out of the entire team. Starting all over doesn't even go in there, and that's the ace for Synergy.
Great fight out of both teams there. That really could have gone either way. The huge solar storm out of Bubblegum, though, that was the tipping point in that match right there.
Yeah, and starting all over, even though he missed his ult, he was able to do a ton of damage and then get out, but the ultimate out of Bubblegum was absolutely devastating. It just completely destroyed, but and it's going to be back up really, really soon. The ultimate for Celeste is so quick now in the late game once you hit level 3 that every team fight's now going to have it. So it's really up. And now see Synergy realizing that they've got complete control now of the jungle. They're going right for the Kraken.
Yeah, Cruel soloed that Kraken up to about halfway, just like Cruel likes to do. He's not afraid of nothing. So they got the Kraken. It looks like they're going for a solid push. Infusions on both teams at this point. I think Vertigo has a really nice chance of being able to fend this off. I'm anticipating they probably will lose their third turret. I don't think they're going to get pushed all the way into base at this point.
Yeah, Rick's already got infusion. There's no reason for him to go back, so he chooses not to. Beowulf redoes his infusion because it was almost out. I'm sorry, Best Chuck and Avery does his infusion because it was almost out. So now both teams are fully infused, although Celeste is double infused, even with the weapon infusing. So, and you do see Beowulf does pop a crystal infusion. So interesting decision there. Arden's Gauntlet does get a little bit of a buff when you have crystal power.
Yeah, he got the specs got changed on that on the last patch. So he's got a little bit more power. They're pushing.
Oh, there's the stun. The double gauntlet walls come out. It's not very effective. Rix is able to stay on the outside. The ultimate coming out, but oh, Rix is the last one left, and he's going to have to go back. And this is probably going to be game because in comes Kraken, and he's going to be able to take all these turrets out. And there's really nothing Rix could do about it. And that is game. GG.
Fantastic gauntlet out of Skojan at that point. He caught Best Chuck and Beowulf in it, and that was trouble for them from there.
Yeah, really close match. The biggest difference there was the Cruel. Just once he got into late game, there was just so little that they could do to slow him. Even though they were able to effectively keep him away from their carries for some of the team fight, it was just too long with the gauntlets coming out, the Ardens being so effective. Even though both teams had him, it just seemed like just couldn't get away from it and getting trapped in every single time. Skojan, really, really good job. Definitely a strong Arden, and a reason why you saw Vertigo ban him the first game. So there you have it, guys. Synergy does win. It was I forgot to update because Vertigo did win one of the matches. So it was 1-1, but Synergy does pick up the second the second win and takes the series, the series 2-1.
Great play out of both teams on this, Dragon. It was fantastic. And it makes me wonder why Synergy was so quick to ban Cruel in game 1 and 2, because he was such a huge factor for them in that third game.
Yeah, he definitely was, and maybe that was their strategy to kind of hide that, maybe think Vertigo think that they weren't going to pull it out in case it did go to a game 3, and it definitely worked. You know, Vertigo definitely has a good Cruel as well, but they didn't think that they had to counter a Cruel. But the play style that they had with with Best Chuck going Celeste and Rix going Ringo isn't horrible going against a Cruel. It's just the stuns weren't perfectly timed coming out Best Chuck. And the ultimates from Bubblegum were just so devastating that there was just nothing
Huge.
Vertigo could do once those ultimates had hit inside the gauntlets of Skojin.
Absolutely. We had the double gauntlet Venn diagram a couple times in that game, and it was always danger for both teams, and those solar storms were just chunking the teams down.
Yeah, and it really went in favor of Synergy. Every time the double gauntlet walls came out, Synergy did a great job. But really, really good play out of both teams. It was a lot of fun to watch. And we appreciate all the viewers who came by to watch this match. Synergy is a young guild, but you're clearly a very, very good guild, a very competitive guild, right up there competing. That match was very close to the blind pick match being very, very close, but very, very impressive play coming out of Synergy. And you know, it was impressive to see Vertigo Black come back and win the second game. And play very good early game in the first game, but I think that Synergy's Cruel with the Celeste was just too much for Vertigo to handle. Cruel being just such a detrimental and able to get late game, and that's the thing. You know, Cruel continued the farm and turned a little bit, and Vertigo not able to push aggressively once they had that lead. Kind of let Cruel get a little bit too powerful, and that's really when the battle turned in favor of Synergy.
Well said. Both teams very talented. I will be weeping softly if I ever have the misfortune of running into them in queue.
Yeah,
They're fantastic.
yeah. And when I say they're a young competitive team. I don't think they've been known for a competitive team. They haven't been known in the competitive scene to be very strong. But now I think this match really cements them as a team that you got to keep an eye out for.
Well, I heard they were all 3 to 4 years old too, which is very interesting. They got those quick little things.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I did hear that one of them actually just started walking, so that's really impressive. No, they're just new to the competitive scene, is what I meant. Again, everyone, thank you guys for joining myself and Bremen on Vertigo TV. It was really awesome having you on, man.
Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure being on here. This has been a fantastic experience. Congratulations, both teams. Great play.
Yeah, and you guys make sure you check out Bremen on the Broken Myth. He does write for the Broken Myth, brokenmyth.net. You can follow him on Team Broken Myth on Twitter, but you can also follow him personally. Where can they follow you if they want to just follow what you write and stuff that you talk about?
My Twitter is @BermanVG, BRERMANVG. And all of my links do get retweeted by brokenmyth.net. All of my stuff goes up on there, and I'll post them to Reddit too.
Absolutely. So it was great having you guys all come out. Again, make sure you check out the Vertigo Open Community Band on the Band app. Download the app, and we're gonna actually send you guys off right now. And we, as is the tradition with most streams on Twitch, we will be featuring another stream. So before you guys run off, we will be going on and hosting another stream on Twitch. Let me just pull that up real quick, because this is just a way to kind of share the amazing community that's already built around Vainglory. There's a lot of amazing streamers out there. So one streamer out there, you know what, we're gonna actually host the Wookiee Force. If you guys haven't followed him before, he's really, really awesome. So please make sure you guys go check him out. But there we go. There we go. That's weird. It's not working. the host feature is not working. 1 second here. Fail.
Well, go see Wookiee Force.
Go see Wookiee Force.
Get over to his Twitch.
Go see Wookiee Force. We'll try to figure that out in a little bit. Keyboard issue. So see you guys later. Thanks for coming by.